All right, today we're diving into a massive shift in the global economy. It's a concept we're calling the disappearing distance. And what it's really about is how the fundamental rules for what makes a nation successful are being rewritten right before our very eyes. So let's just kick things off with this quote from business guru Tom Peters, because it perfectly captures the stakes. Distance has disappeared. Either innovate or die. For decades, the global game was all about closing the distance. But now that the distance is gone, the game itself has changed. It's not about catching up anymore. It's about not getting left behind.
So what exactly is this disappearing distance? Well, think of it as the economic and tech gap that used to separate the pioneering countries from the follower nations, the ones who basically copied their success. For a really long time, the path to prosperity was super clear. Just close that gap, learn from the leaders, do what they did, and your economy would grow. Simple as that.
And you know what? This old game, it produced some absolutely incredible results. Let's take a look at maybe the most powerful example of this catch-up strategy in action. For decades, China played this game better than anyone. They leveraged their huge advantages. We're talking low-cost labor, land, resources. They soaked up technology from the leading nations, followed those proven paths of industrialization, and in what felt like the blink of an eye, became the world's factory. It was a genuine economic miracle, all built on closing the distance. But here's the twist. This is the crucial point and really the heart of our story today. That game is over. The strategy that powered all that growth for decades, it's hit a wall. And this just says it all, doesn't it? The follower has caught the leader. The distance is gone. And when you're running right on the leader's heels, there's no clear path in front of you anymore. You can't imitate. You're at the very front of the pack, and now you have to invent the path yourself. So let's break this shift down. Those old advantages like cheap labor, they're fading away as costs go up. That clear path of imitation has been replaced by, the fog of the unknown. And that demands something way harder, original innovation. All of this has created a new kind of pressure, something economists call the dual squeeze. So what is this dual squeeze? Okay, imagine you're trapped. From above, you've got the high-tech leaders. They're pioneering technologies you just can't match. Then, from below, you've got emerging economies with way lower costs, undercutting you on every price. That middle ground, the place that used to be the safest spot to grow, has suddenly become the most dangerous place to be. You're being squeezed from both ends. Okay, so if the old game is over, how do you win the new one? Well, the answer lies in mastering the tools that are going to define our future. Let's do a quick run-through of 3 of the most important ones. First up is big data. Now, we all hear about the immense volume, but the real trick is handling its variety and velocity. All these different kinds of data flying at you at incredible speeds. The key to winning this new game is being able to find the value. Those critical insights hidden in all-day chaos. It's like discovering a new, unbelievably powerful natural resource.
Next, we've got blockchain. Now, it can sound really complex, but the core idea is actually simple and revolutionary. Instead of a central authority, like a bank, verifying everything, a whole network of computers does it. A transaction gets broadcast, the network validates it, and then it's locked into a permanent, transparent block on a chain. It's basically a system of trust that doesn't need a middleman.
And finally, let's talk about artificial intelligence. It's really evolving down 2 main paths. You've got the control school, which is all about teaching a machine rules. Think of programming a computer with every single possible chess move, like IBM's Deep Blue. But then there's the bionic school, and this is radically different. It builds neural networks that actually learn on their own from huge amounts of data, just like how Google's AlphaGo taught itself to become the world's best Go player. And that ability to learn, that is the real game changer. So with all these powerful new tools coming into play, the very nature of global competition is changing. It's not a race to catch up on an old map anymore. No, it's a race to be the one who draws a completely new one. This right here, this is the new mantra. The goal is to innovate so powerfully that you actually create a new gap, with you in the lead. Success isn't about following the path anymore. It's about becoming the one that everyone else has to follow. And we can see this playing out right now in the strategies of the world's top economies. The US is betting on its Silicon Valley ecosystem to churn out disruptive breakthroughs. Germany is all in on Industry 4.0, trying to write the rulebook for the next generation of smart manufacturing. And Japan is pursuing Society 5.0, using tech to solve its own unique social challenges, like an aging population. Each one is trying to create distance, but in their own unique way.
This quote just sums up a whole journey perfectly. The era of mastering imitation, it's over. For all those nations that built their success on following, the next great test is climbing the high mountain of originality. And it's a much, much harder climb, with no clear path to the top.
So, the old maps are useless. The distance that once defined the entire global landscape has vanished. And as these new technologies redraw the boundaries of what's even possible, we're left with one final, fascinating question. In a world with no map, who is going to draw the new one?